NFL DFS players who have leaned on stars from the New England Patriots and Los Angeles Rams this postseason have seen plenty of tournament-winning stat lines. These teams entered the 2019 Super Bowl at No. 1 and number 2 in total offense and are both in the top 3 in scoring. Both two offenses that aren't afraid to spread the ball around based on individual matchups. Finding the optimal lineup for NFL DFS tournaments and cash games on sites like FanDuel and DraftKings could be challenging. Should you roster Brandon Cooks or Robert Woods? What about Rob Gronkowski or Julian Edelman? That's where Sportsline's Mike McClure comes in. He won almost $2 million in his career as a DFS pro, and his top NFL DFS picks, lineups and advice can be the difference for you on Super Bowl Sunday. McClure uses a powerful prediction model that simulates every snap of every game 10,000 times, taking factors like matchups, statistical trends and injuries into account. This allows him to find the best values and create optimal NFL DFS lineups that he shares only over at Sportsline. They're a must-see for any NFL DFS player. McClure is rolling through the 2018 season thanks to some spot-on daily fantasy football picks. In Week 1, his optimal NFL DFS lineups finished in the top 3% of tournaments on DraftKings and the top 1% of tournaments on FanDuel. In Week 4, he finished in the top 2% on DraftKings and top 6% on FanDuel. In Week 5, his lineups cashed with ease on both sites. In Week 8, his followers saw massive returns with his DraftKings lineup finishing in the top 1% of all tournaments, while his Week 9 lineup cashed with ease on FanDuel. He cashed yet again on both sites in Week 10, and then his optimal lineup on FanDuel returned almost 3x in Weeks 11, 12 and 13. He followed that up with yet another cash on DraftKings tournaments in Week 15, and then finished in the top 0.1% of tournaments on FanDuel and inside the top 5% on DraftKings in Week 16. Anyone who has followed him is way up. For the 2019 Super Bowl McClure, we can tell you McClure is targeting Patriots quarterback Tom Brady for his NFL DFS lineups on FanDuel and DraftKings. Brady is making his 9th appearance in the Super Bowl and he's won 5 rings and 4 game MVPs in his previous 8 tries. He's averaged 322 yards per Super Bowl appearance while completing 65.8% of his passes with 18 touchdowns against just 5 interceptions. That's good for an average of nearly 23 points on DraftKings per start. In his last 2 Super Bowls, Brady has averaged 29 points on DraftKings, which is proven production you can bank on against a Rams defense that was middle-of-the-road 14th at defending the pass this season. Get Brady into your Super Bowl DFS lineups and watch him pile up points. Part of McClure's Super Bowl 53 NFL DFS strategy also includes stacking Brady with running back James White. New England's revolving door at running back can make it difficult to decide which player to trust, but White is a strong bet in this matchup. He comes at a significantly cheaper price than Sony Michel on FanDuel, and White is the most versatile back on Bill Belichick's roster. He's a favorite target for Brady in the passing game, but is more than capable of taking handoffs in any area of the field as well. Patriots tend to rely on him when the stakes are at their highest too. He led all New England backs with 45 yards rushing in Super Bowl 52, and they've been leaning on him heavily this postseason as well. He's recorded 25 total touches for 169 yards, and if that pace continues, he has a strong chance to be one of the top NFL DFS picks for Super Bowl 53. McClure is also targeting a player who could go off for massive numbers during the Super Bowl because of a dream matchup. This pick could be the difference between winning your tournaments and cash games or going home with nothing. So who is DFS pro Mike McClure putting in his optimal NFL DFS lineup for the Super Bowl? Visit Sportsline now to see the full optimal tournament lineups for Patriots vs. Rams from a professional DFS player who has almost $2 million in career winnings, and find out.